The playoffs came early for the reigning champs and the new birds on the block. Union Omaha looked to claim the final seat at the table, a spot currently occupied by Texoma. It's a battle of the birds for a playoff slot on ESPN Plus, presented by Centris. Hello, welcome, I'm Ryan Lee. Thanks for joining us. These two last met in the Jägermeister Cup back on July 23rd. After a 1-1 deadlock through the first 35 minutes, Omaha took the lead going into the halftime at 2-1 with momentum fully on their side. Key acquisitions in attack like Pato Batelafaz and Sergio Orz-Navarro got onto the score sheet, not just to show the Parliament what they're capable of, but to signal what was coming under then new interim head coach Vincenzo Candela. Since then, both Texoma and Omaha have gone through 2-month transformations that have brought them on the brink of playoff contentions, a long way since being at the bottom of the table only 2.5 months ago. Our standings are presented by Teriyaki Madness. It really shows how tight things are. Texoma sit just above the postseason cutoff, but there's no room for error. Omaha trail by a singular point, with 4 other teams one result from cracking the top 8. Madison is lurking behind at 13th, but only 3 points back. These two were at the bottom of the table in May. Now they're sitting to fight their way into the playoff picture. The newcomers and the reigning champs come to Warner Park, and a playoff slot, the reward for a winner. The USL League One is brought to you by Centris. Lineups and kickoff are next.
Mi nombre es Josué Aaron Gómez y soy del Paso, Texas. Creo que significaría mucho para mí, para mi futuro. Creo que al terminar mi carrera futbolística, creo que poder implementar lo que voy a aprender en la escuela, creo que eso va a ser muy importante para mí y para mi futuro.
It's an age-old tradition, sneaking a taste before it's ready to serve. But when you see the finest reserve label, you just can't help yourself. Because you know an immersive, unexpected flavor experience awaits. The passion and the creativity are felt and tasted in every bite, twisting contemporary cuisine in satisfying new ways. It makes it almost impossible not to want to taste it before the meal. Finest Reserve. Every flavor tells a story.
To be a part of Nebraska medicine.
Hi, welcome.
Good to see you.
Is to be a part of something extraordinary.
Nebraska Medicine, how may I help you?
Because these are the doors.
How are you?
That open doors.
That went really well.
To growth
Hey.
and opportunity for each other and for our community. For those who know that the academic experience,
You know what? I agree.
the life experience that you get here is beyond what you can get anywhere else.
Doing great.
And that's exactly why here is where you belong. Nebraska medicine. Together extraordinary.
We come here to Warner Park in Papillion, Nebraska, where Union Omaha and Texoma FC are the current 8 and 9 seeds in USL League One, where the winner will have an opportunity to come into the top 8 for a playoff slide, while the loser will get bounced outward looking in. We take a look at these starting 11s brought to you by Rotella's Bakery. We start with the home side for Los Bulls. For Union Omaha, Batelafaz slots in up top with 2 total goals, including 1 against Texoma the last time they played back in July. Jiba and Wutan are also new additions for this week's matchup, while Knapp will make his 25th League One start, including 20 appearances this year. Rishi Nuhu is back in goal after Cole Jensen started the last 2. Nuhu is back for his 16th appearance in 2025, trying to bring the captain back between the pipes, are Union Omaha and Vincenzo Candela. As for Texoma FC, they made a whole bunch of changes, 4 of them in fact, since their last game out against forward Madison. Lamine Jauna is now the lone forward up top. He scored in the last 2 appearances, including one against AV Alta. Ajmer Spangler continues to lead the way for Los Pájaros in a 4-man midfield with Ozzy Ramos, Diego Pepe, and Brian Padilla alongside. A 5-man back is one of the staples for Adrian Forbes. Angelo Calfo centers it with additions with David Mason. Jordan Chavez has also been a long-time staple, formerly of UNLV. And Javier Garcia has been the starting goaltender for 17 straight games. He looks to keep Texoma above the playoff line. Making our way to the center of Warner Park, where it is a fight for the playoffs. Came early for both sides as Omaha, the reigning champs, are currently on the outside looking in the number 9 slot. For Texoma, they sit at number 8 after a in-season turnaround over the last 2 months. Both of these teams saw themselves at the very bottom of the table. Now they find themselves very much alive and well in the playoff race as we begin here at Warner Park in Papillion, Nebraska. Omaha will start off left to right. They're in the all-white, while Texoma are in the all-blacks. They go right to left for this opening half as Ryan Lee and our entire ESPN Plus crew welcome you to Warner Park in a dogfight with 10 games remaining in the USL League One regular season. As Union Omaha, this is match 20. The win-loss record does not look promising on paper at 7-10-3, but the 9th place standing that they have with 25 points is only a singular point away from getting back into a playoff slot, something that they've been very familiar with. They have not missed the playoffs since their inception in 2020. As for Texoma FC, they are the newcomers on the block, one of 5 expansion sides in this year, but they've had a nice turnaround over the last couple of weeks after starting off the season winless across their opening 7 at 0-5-2. They turned things around with a 7-game unbeaten run that has helped them launch into the top 8, and they look to stay there. For Union Omaha, they're coming off of a 2-0 win against AV Alta last time out 2 weeks ago. Both of them have had a week off last week, so it's been a 2-week layoff for both teams. For Union Omaha, coming off a 2-0 shutout win against AV Alta, where they really packed things on, a real transformation of a little bit of the overall identity and trust, especially that will come with a interim head coach in the wing, starting with the Vincenzo Candela era back on early July, and it's really been an opportunity for Coach Candela to really implement some of the small nicks and tweaks that he was really looking to adjust for the end of the season, especially for a team that has that playoff expectation the second they walk in. Mark Bronick trying to come in. He's got help alongside, but it's disrupted, and it will flutter out of play, but it will stay in Omaha possession. Relatively calm 68-degree day here in Papillion. Mild wind to speak of. Knapp to take the throw. Crossing in, overhead, cleared out by Texoma. First man up is Pepe. However, all the white jerseys working in connection so they can retrieve it back towards the 2-time Golden Glove, Rashid Nuhu. Starts back in goal after giving the ex-Inter Miami draft pick, Cole Jensen, a couple of starts between the 4-1 Charlotte win and the 2-0 victory against AV Alta. This one last deflects, and it'll go Texoma's way. Texoma having to make a couple of changes in the Madison game that resulted in a 3-0 shutout loss, second of 3 straight on the road for Los Pájaros. And they'll have to do so shorthanded as well, with Luke McCormick and Brandon McManus both on red card suspension. For McCormick, it was a double yellow that got him booted from that game. With McManus, it was a straight red, but talking to Adrian Forbes about maybe some of those overall disciplinary issues, he just talked about how the margins of error are so thin in this league, and if you are on the wrong side of that, it can really punish you, and that was the case last time out versus Madison. It was very cards have cost Texoma before, including a couple of weeks back against AV Alta, where they had a 3-goal lead, but after going down 11-10, the shorthanded unit would eventually squander 3 points and a 3-goal lead to take things at a 3-all draw and have to split with AV Alta, especially for a team that is just barely as thin of a margin above the playoff line. They'll need everything they can, as this chance was blocked by Jauna, as he claims it back with a full head of steam. Nice tackle made by Max Schneider, recovers for Los Bulls. Owusu, the lone man back. He's got help in the form of Schneider. All the way across for the current leader in the Golden Playmaker race, Charlie Ostrom. He's got room up the gut. Nice sliding tackle made by Ozzy Ramos to slow things down. Across it comes, Jauna in a battle. Only as far as Owusu starts to transition the other way. Elevates. It's a chance in front for Batelafaz. Batelafaz with room. Plays it back. Bronick in front, but blocked. A nice opportunity for Omaha to work on the counterattack. Batelafaz was one of the new additions in this past offseason. Hasn't found as much consistent playing time, only 12 appearances and 8 starts going into today. Today is 13 appearances on 9 starts. First corner coming up for Chela Martinez and Los Bulls. Martinez to serve. Into the box, headed, scores! Max Schneider heads it through for the opening goal for Union Omaha. He's got another one against Texoma. He scored the lone goal when these two played in the regular season back in May. Absolutely blistering header with the service from Chela Martinez. And Schneider, that puts him at 3 goals on the season for the German midfielder. And Omaha getting on the board, doing so early, as the first Modelo corner kick results in a goal. All goals are brought to you by Herdot Sports Bar, and it is an early one for Schneider. Chela Martinez on the serving end of that corner. And they're already back in business with possession on the throw. For Union Omaha, they've won their last 2. It's only the 3rd time all year that they've had back-to-back wins. 4-1 against Charlotte and 2-0 against AV Alta, both of them here at this pitch. And it's a place where Omaha, they're very comfortable playing, one where a lot of teams can really be disruptive and uncomfortable, especially with the pavilion working on the outfield. This one's chipped along. Bronick to center, clipped away. You had Calfo in front, and this will go for another Omaha throw. Schneider from Martinez is the official score, and Chela Martinez, 3rd assist on the season. Part of the team of the week, number 25, after a helper in Charlotte as well. Attempted curl in, still loose, pinballs around, comes back up wide. Martinez, centrally, headed up and out of play. Some diving theatrics with Ozzy Ramos and Angelo Calfo trying to help out inside the 6-yard box. You see a lot of Omaha trying to work on the outside in. That's something that Coach Candela talked about, how Texoma are the ones who are very threatening on the wings, but right now Union Omaha are absolutely flying from the width. Quick takedown on Padilla from Wutan. Just about 2 months ago, these two were at the bottom of the table. They both rebounded with lengthy strings of points to get themselves in a top 8 position. Up the gut, still bouncing around. Can't find a recipient. Wutan. Touched forward, Bronick centers, headed, out of play. Narrowly outside of the reach of Ryan Jiba, but this should be another corner for Omaha. Bronick has continued to operate. He's much more known as a goal scorer, but trying to set up Ryan Jiba, who got 1 or 2 goals against AV Alta, trying to make it goals in back-to-back, but instead it's another Medela corner kick for Chelo Martinez. First one came on a corner. Martinez serves again. In the box, down by Garcia, rebound is loose, swings by Owusu, clamors for a handball, but it is going to be whistled against Union Omaha. Garcia was able to get out of the jumble, and a nice couple swipes there by Owusu, trying to pick it out of midair on the volley. However, he couldn't get it through. Owusu did have a goal earlier on in the season. That was back in May against Portland Hearts of Pine, but we also have the very slow Jordan Chavez, who has been taking a lot of contact, especially in the legs, as you can see, and he's been one of the staples in the defensive unit for Adrian Forbes, a side that has struggled to defend at points throughout the season, with the 3rd most goals in USL League One with 38. And Jordan Chavez has been a guy who has pretty much been a mainstay in this lineup, starting in 21 of 22 games for Adrian Forbes. Whistle favors Texoma at the center circle. Long ball settled, Lamin Jauna. Jauna hesitates. He's got help. David Mason serves centrally, too far in front. This will flutter out of play for Rashid Nuhu goal kick. You had Spangler in the area, but just a little overhead. Our first look at Adrian Forbes in his first season stateside after spending the last several years coaching in the UK, and he's really talked about how it's been a whole bunch of different emotions over the last several weeks because the games have just been so different in so many ways. You had a game where you had a 3-goal lead that ended up being squandered, a 1-0 win against Greenville. You just had a whole bunch of things, and it can really be hard to maintain consistency when form hasn't been. Blocked in front, Omaha back on, Wutan. Sends it across for Ostrom. Ryan Jiba in support on that far side, centrally plays for Wutan. Wutan, the former Ohio State Buckeye, where he was a 3rd-team All-American in 2022. Ended up being drafted in the 3rd round in 2023 of the MLS Super Draft by the Chicago Fire. In front, centrally crossed, blocked. Still up for grabs, sent towards goal, rolling around, it's still loose. Martinez searches, comes across, Bronick! Four goals in 5 games for Mark Bronick. He doubles the lead for Omaha. What a strike from Mark Bronick. He's been finding a lot of opportunities by just being at the right place at the right time. All alone, no one on the defense on that near side of the box. Once this pass comes over, you see no one is in the vicinity, only a chase at best. And for Bronick, he had 3 goals across 5 starts in the month of August. This puts him at 4 goals in 5 games, as that's another goal brought to you by Herdot Sports Grill. Vincenzo Candela in his interim stint, while only 2 months in length, it has been quite successful, but a turnover. Pepe's alone. He fires, saved by Nuhu. First corner for Texoma. As we take a quick look, Diego Pepe just gets a little lost in all the white jerseys inside of the area, but at least trying to test Rashid Nuhu for the first time in this game. And this forces the first corner brought to you by Modelo in favor of Texoma. Pepe, a bit of a disruptor, only 11 appearances this season since coming over from the FC Dallas organization with North Texas and MLS Next Pro. Only 3 starts for Pepe. This one's about to be served. Curling in, Jonah the header, and blocked by Owusu. We'll rewind, do it again. Was a nice service, and he did have Jonah by himself. This one gets clipped up in the air and whistle against Texoma, but also a yellow card delayed. It's a very physical Texoma team, one that will really frustrate you by just forcing you into situations because they have a lot of size. They're a very physical group. Just have a little bit of that scrapping right in the middle of the box when the corner kick was awaiting. Jordan Chavez, the captain for this Texoma side, in the mix of it, the 28-year-old center back, formerly of UNLV, where he's had some USL Championship experience with Orange County last year. As the first yellow card is brought to you by Alamo Draft House Cinemas. For Vincenzo Candela and this Union Omaha squad, they talked about how a lot of what's been working for them is actually going back to some stuff that you might see in preseason training camp, just working on communication and trust amongst each other and the system, making sure they don't just do so in transition, but off the ball as well, making sure that everyone's in the right place at the right time. They're constantly working together and communicating. The trust in each other and the identity really allows the guys to become more comfortable working with each other and allows them to really put their full performance, their full best foot forward. And in this way, they've also been able to accumulate a lot of really solid results, and probably at the best time with 10 games left to go in the season for Union Omaha, including 7 of the last 10 at home. So not just right place, right time, but also at the right moment as well. This one served ahead, trying to make its way towards Botello Foz, but Garcia will leap in. Nuhu quickly distributes to Brandon Knapp. 20 appearances this season, including 25 starts across his 2 seasons in USL League One, formerly of St. John's University in the New York region. Omaha continue to try to find those passes down the middle, and it's helped them find available attackers on the outside. Helped in that second Bronick goal at the very least, as this is bouncing around. Texoma recover. Calfo with the help of Mason, and touched out of play. The USL is on CBS Sports Network as it kicks off September with a League One battle. Playoff contenders Spokane Velocity FC take on newcomers Westchester SC. Saturday, September 7th, that's tomorrow by the way, at 7 p.m. Eastern on CBS SN. Probably the most important game of football across the entire CBS SN slate tomorrow. as this is bouncing around towards the center stripe. Attempted pick by Texoma goes awry, so it will be Omaha ball. Texoma have been a team that's been hampered by injuries and disciplinary problems. It's been a lot of shuffling of the lineup for them because of it. You have some guys who were mainstays of the lineup who are really expected to be key contributors, but either due to the respective disciplinary issues with McManus and McCormick for this game, or maybe even some of their veterans like Preston Kilwine, Solomon Asante, and Maciek Bortniczuk, who were really expected to be key contributors out for season-long injury. It's really forced Adrian Forbes to shuffle things around that maybe he didn't expect going in, but Vincenzo Candela has absolutely rolled with the punches since taking over for Dominic Casciato. One of 6 Union Omaha members to be a part of Team of the Week number 25, Candela being the coach of the month in that stretch. Especially for how good things have been since they were recently at the bottom of the table. Helping Omaha climb out of a hole where they've been 3-1-1 in the last 5 matches. Knapp with Owusu. They'll continue to pass it around with Brett Coleman and Charlie Ostrom on the back. Deep ball headed up Jiba. Trying to set up Ostrom, but whistle goes against Union Omaha. Max Schneider in the 6th. Mark Bronick in the 14th. 2-0 for Omaha. Schneider getting whistle on that last opportunity. Also got the assist on the Bronick goal as we take another look. Just scrapping with Ajmir Spangler, reaching around. It's a big size mismatch as well for the 5'8" Spangler and the 6'3" Schneider. Jono looks for room. Held on, David Mason. Crosses, no one on the receiving end, so it's Bronick the other way. Some nice triangle offense by Union Omaha. This will clip Chavez, and it's a race towards the end line for Garcia. And he'll just concede the throw deep in the Texoma end. Knapp curls it, cut by Garcia. Texoma, in this final 8 games of their season, they want to make sure that they really buy into the narrative that they really are underdogs and make sure that they can be just as good by themselves as they've shown in performances past. They just had issues closing the deal at points. This is curled in with a header, and it's caught by Nuhu. Nice play at the top of the box by Diego Pepe to try to get his first goal of the season, but nothing was able to go. He had 1 goal in the Jägermeister Cup back on that July 23rd match. It was the only goal in that 3-1 Omaha win for Pepe, as Brian Padilla chops down Sam Owusu. Padilla, typical contributor off the bench, has only started in 3 of his 11 games this year, as maybe a little bit of that youth coming into play. Wutan retreats back to Coleman. Wutan steps back as he got bodied off. Here's a lane in front. Pepe couldn't escape from Owusu. Follow up for Texoma. JP Jordan couldn't get loose, so it's back for Nuhu. Contact and a whistle from our lead official in the blue for today's game. Carlos Rodriguez leads the way with Jared Mosher and Jane Norris. Velimir Stefanovic is our 4th official. And they've had to control things so far in a very tense and physical 25 minutes, especially with a playoff slot on the line. Curled in, Pepe the header. No one to help. Only Omaha due back to Rashid Nuhu. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big league, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. Poked ahead by Chelo Martinez, only as far as Chavez. Bodies hit the deck. Another whistle favoring the visitors. Owusu got into it. Trying to go for the jump ball, and we had 2 of them right at that center circle. Pepe in the mix, as was Ozzy Ramos. However, Owusu, the lone guilty party, the 24-year-old center back from Ghana, formerly of the NYCFC system, where he was with New York City's 2nd team for the last 3 seasons between the Academy and MLS Next Pro. 68 total matches in MLS Next Pro with NYCFC 2. Stolen away by the Owls. Comes across for Wutan. Wutan's got an acre of space. He's full speed ahead. Bronick out wide. Took a clip, and it was a strikeout by Jiba. So it rolls out of play for a Texoma throw. Texoma, a lot of the ebbs and flows of their season have just been the ups and downs of the season, especially between the ears, how Adrian Forbes noting that confidence and belief, just trying to make sure that every single game that does not sway mentally. They know they can put some of those top performances on, and he even emphasized that I need them to understand how good they are, especially both individually and a team. That can be forgotten at times, especially because many of these guys were cast-offs across the U.S. soccer landscape in the USL or MLS Next Pro, or even overseas. And Adrian Forbes just says he wants to make sure that all these guys maximize their opportunities, as Garcia makes sure that Omaha does not do that as he catches at the edge of the area. Half an hour in, 2-0 Omaha leads. Max Schneider, a goal and an assist. Mark Bronick, the 2nd. This is for a Union Omaha side that is tied with Texoma for the 3rd fewest goals in the league at this point with 28 apiece. Pass is blocked. Stolen right back. Mason. Calfo the assistance. And Omaha will go towards Nuhu. Texoma at center with Ozzy Ramos. Ramos, about 5 days away from his 29th birthday, continues to scrap at center with Jauna. Owls take it back. Martinez in the mix. Coleman with Ostrom. Chela Martinez goes end to end, but just too short for Knapp. Finds Bronick. Jägermeister Cup game played between these two on July 23rd was the third ever game of the Vincenzo Candela era, second win. Chopped down, Patella Foz, taken down, foul, free kick. And a yellow card to boot. JP Jordan is guilty and he'll join the book. It was a takedown with Pato Patella Foz, and you can just see the wrap up of that right hand on Jordan as we have another yellow card brought to you by Alamo Drafthouse Cinemas. We already saw one opportunity dangerously from a set piece. However, that was a corner. This is the first free kick of the game as Schneider and Ostrom stand over. Schneider already a goal and an assist. Max Schneider! Just wide. But a beautiful strike, maybe a foot or so, maybe a glance off Garcia too. We'll see. Schneider just zips that one through, and they say it just barely clips the hand of Javier Garcia. So this is a third Modelo corner kick for Union Omaha. First goal came from this corner. Chela Martinez in the mixer, still loose. Omaha reclaim. Skied right to Garcia. Trying to give Jauna a chance, but he's boxed out, and it comes right to Rashid Nuhu. We're talking about the last couple of matches with Vincenzo Candela earlier today. We talked about how they really have two starting caliber goalies with Cole Jensen and Rashid Nuhu. Said that in the AV Alta game, a point of emphasis was deliberately to find a way to get a clean sheet, because he has not seen that since he took over as head coach. The last one before that in the regular season was in a 1-0 win back on June 12th. Bronick up the gut, he's got a man, backheeled, but couldn't find Jiba to receive. Pepe down on the ground, he gets shoved, and this will go against Schneider. Tune in September the 10th, this Wednesday, for the Jägermeister Cup semifinals. From 38 clubs down to the final 4, Rhode Island FC takes on Sacramento Republic at 7 p.m. Eastern, while League One's Greenville Triumph battle Hartfield Athletic at 7:30. Catch all the action on ESPN+. Texoma might have some space. Setting things up, Pepe keeps it in play. Still up for grabs as the service is cut off for a corner. Will Perkins on that far side. This will give Texoma their third corner of the half. All corners in this match are brought to you by Modelo. And Ozzy Ramos will be the one ready to serve. 19 starts this season for the midfielder formerly of Carolina Core in MLS Next Pro. He was there for about 2 months last year. Ramos headed up by Batella Faz, but this stays with Texoma, this time on the throw. Final 10 minutes of the opening half. Both goals for Schneider and Bronick have come in the opening 14 minutes. Still available, no one can get it. Jordan towards goal, but missed. The attempt made by JP Jordan, yet to log a goal on this season, but he is making his way back in. He's been back in regular action for last month after missing 2 months between the beginning of June to the end of July with some injury issues. The ex-Louisville Cardinal spent his last NCAA season with Louisville after spending the 2 seasons prior to that with SMU. He was a second team All-AAC with the Mustangs. On the Texoma side that, as we mentioned, conceded 2 in the opening quarter of an hour. That's the second most goals in the opening 15 minutes of any team in USL League One. Only Westchester have conceded more in the opening 15 minutes. Here come Texoma, but Ostrom cuts off the feed. Calfo, the first man back. Jaunet gets around Knapp. Spangler. He's getting swarmed. Where does he go? Looking for Pepe. Schneider continues the slide and starts to break out for Omaha. Batella Faz, he's in front, too much. Flag goes up offside. But the idea from Omaha, had that been onside, would have been a great one had Pata Batella Faz stayed in front of the final defender, Angelo Calfo. JP Jordan on the attack with Jaunet. Loops around, back for Jaunet. Ajmir Spangler. Trying to set up Perkins before it's interrupted by Ostrom. Back for Spangler. Elevates it. Mason. Spangler comes across. Lays it back for Jordan. With Ramos. Up the gut they go. Texoma will rip it, but this will be up and out. Texoma only registering the 1 shot on target relatively early on from Diego Pepe, and not much more have really threatened Rashid Nuhu. However, a turnover might change that. Ozzy Ramos from range and saved by Rashid Nuhu. Texoma are a team who love to get these balls from outside of the box. They will just work on a counter and just let it rip from wherever. It's a thing that Coach Candela said you really have to be careful of with this Texoma side, because they will take their tries from anywhere on the pitch. And it has worked from them, especially with shots outside of the box. Batella Faz maybe wants to start something for Omaha. Not quite. Nice sidestep by Mason to free things up. Pepe, he's interrupted. And it's cleared away by Owusu. David Mason will win the foul for the first-year pro, spending the last couple of years with Loyola, Maryland, even spending some time with the Maryland Bobcats of NISA in the last 3 or 4 years, even a quick stint in 2023 with South Georgia Tormenta. Ramos to take. Into the box, only white jerseys in the way. Knapp and Schneider complete the clear. Perkins is back in the final 5. Deep try, looking for Chavez. No one in black to receive. And Owusu will watch it flutter out of play. It's been a very busy final stretch for the Omaha Parliament, where they have been very successful at home. 4-2-2 here at Warner Park. As we mentioned, 7 of the last 10 games will be here at home, where they are explosive on home turf, to say the least, for Union Omaha. 70% versus the 58% of points they have when on the road, and a very backloaded schedule because of some of the maintenance issues being conducted here at Warner Park. They spent 7 of the first 8 games on the road. Only 3 more road trips this year for Union Omaha. They got to go up to New York to play Westchester, to Chattanooga to play the Red Wolves, sitting at the #1 overall seed. And on the road against Greenville Triumph, who, after losing to a shorthanded Portland Hearts of Pine in the midweek, are fighting for their playoff lives, are Greenville. Jauna down the line. Jauna looking for room, but will take the throw. Chavez jumps back for Calfo. Miscommunication between Jauna and Mason will give the ball right back to Omaha. Omaha have had about 2/3 of the possession at this point of the game. Texoma, one of the teams in USL League One with the least possession. A team that love to sit back and defend, can absolutely feast on the counters, but they haven't had many opportunities with the ball. They've also had issues defending on Union Omaha, who have capitalized twice so far. For this Omaha side, they've really grown over the last couple of weeks, just showing how they are very different from the last time that they match up against any team, especially not just on the leadership side, but also because the goals are finally starting to fall, as this one is attempted cross. Couldn't get through, as that was served by Perkins. It's blocked, crossed, it's loose, and this will go out of play for a Texoma corner. Just when it looked like maybe it was going to flutter out of play, Texoma worked together to keep it alive and a chance to maybe dig into the lead. Final minute and a half, plus stoppage. Ozzy Ramos, low driver, back for Ramos. Another low service comes out. Still in play, bobbled in the air. Owusu steps up for Ostrom. Patella Foz did not have the angle, so we'll go for the ex-Owl, Will Perkins. Was here last season before getting loaned out to Huntsville City of MLS Next Pro. Stolen back by Omaha. This one comes centrally in front. Martinez, he's blocked. This will come out of play for an Omaha throw. Bobbling back to Omaha as we have 2 extra minutes on the board in this opening half. Bronick wanted to set up a man but couldn't get through. Jaune reaching. Padilla and Calfo eventually get it out. Pappy the touch, but no one with assistance. With some of the short-handed attack of Texoma, they'll have to really evaluate to see who is really stepping in and who's really performing well. Also, who is ready for the moment, because at any moment, Adrian Forbes is ready to give a spot to whoever the top performer may be. Omaha's back on, Ryan Jiba with the reach. Jiba gallops, he widens. Bronick already on a goal, waits, up top. Wutan cycles, Ostrom curls it, back post, clip down, Garcia with the save. End to end, it's a bouncer for Rashid Nuhu as he gets cut down. Is it a card against Diego Pepe or simply a warning? This was the second opportunity by Ostrom. You had 3 bodies in the vicinity with Bhutan, Knapp, and Patello Foz, and this was in the other direction where Pepe just got his arms on the waist side of Rashid Nuhu. Just a warning, no card in play, but we are past 2. A slight wind in the face of Rashid Nuhu. You can see it whipping on the corner flag. 2 minutes are up. Whistle still yet to come, and there it is. A ferocious 15 minutes for Union Omaha to get up to a 2-0 lead in a battle for a playoff slot. A goal and an assist for Max Schneider has led the way for Los Bulls, but they have to close the deal in the final 45 when we come back from the break. It's been very busy here at Werner Park, where a winner will go into the top 8 for a playoff slot, and the loser will get bounced. Omaha with the 2-goal lead, more from the USL and League One on the other end.
Our scissors, basically it's our cutters. Basically it will cut the A post, B post in that car. Most of us already know what to do, but if we have some then to your left. Sit down, you fit right into it, bro. Drawn, go into the environment. And it's not like the movies. Everybody goes, it's just like the movies, the fire's right over there. That's zero, not true. Oh, no. 3, 2, 1, fight. Wow. Nice.
It was a natural. It was a
Returning here to Werner Park, where Union Omaha have the 2-0 lead on Texoma FC for a battle for who can get into the top 8. This game is brought to you by Courtyard by Marriott, and it's been a lot of great home venues across all of USL League One. Let's look into the one of the up-and-coming ones over in Portland.
They're not here by accident. It's not by chance.
You know, you only get one chance to make a first impression.
The game day environment is unlike anything I've experienced. It's loud, it's authentically Maine.
Even if the supporter doesn't play on the pitch, we fight together.
Don't get many opportunities to be a part of something brand new. We do have a responsibility to set the foundation.
People are coming here because they know soccer and they want to watch.
To in-swing. Head in, punched out by Lewis, still up for grabs, off of the line, out of play. They stand tall, Lewis with the palm, Skelton with the head.
JT Kamara dropping in and perfectly piercing a ball forward. Vinberg! Sean Vinberg, his first Portland goal, pushes the home side ahead and makes it 2-1.
Prinks tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights. From fun with friends to winner takes all. From the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks tires will be there for the long haul.
Strikes with the right and opens the scoring. A dream start for the home side. Wow, what a strike from Westchester, and it's Prince Sadie.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way.
Focus!
Fight back with Tiger Bomb's legendary herbal power.
Whatever it takes.
Trusted for over 100 years. Tiger Bomb's proven herbal blend tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger so that you can rise above pain.
Let's make a Karate Kid.
And get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
And Rhode Island are into a major semifinal. It's Hartford the lead. Greenville is on the semifinals. Sacramento is heading to the semifinals.
This just in, Union Omaha Soccer is back at Werner Park. Come out and join us for Hometown Heroes on September 6th, Pubs on the Pitch on September 17th, and Women in Sports Night on September 21st. Whether it's the heart-stopping action, delicious concessions, or your Owls, the 2024 USL League One champions electrify the pitch. You don't just watch the action, you are the action, and we can't wait to see you. One city, one club, one means all.
Returning here to Warner Park, where there's a lot of news and notes from around the USL and League One. International call-ups, there's 17 of them between the USL Championship and League One for World Cup qualifiers at the international break. Large part of those being within the CONCACAF and within the Tournament Bowl and also AFCON as well. And with the historical cup set of Richmond 30 years ago in the 1995 U.S. Open Cup final over the El Paso Patriots. For Richmond, you have to have some on-paper upsets as well, with them being on the outside looking in the playoff hunt. And for Chattanooga, they remain at the top of the table with an unbeaten run of 10. However, they have a couple teams lurking in the way with Naples, Knoxville, and Spokane. Velocity and One Knox are both 3 points behind Chattanooga, trying to aim their way to the top of the table. And with some of those opportunities for guys at the top of the table, we mentioned Spokane and Knoxville. Knoxville took the 1-0 win last time out, where Ian Fuller was named Coach of the Week. And the Team of the Week, a huge win by Portland Hearts of Pine as well. Not just in the midweek against Greenville, but also last time out against the top 5 opponent in Charlotte, trying to make sure that the Hearts see out their first opportunity in the playoff hunt with their Player of the Week, Ollie Wright, who has really been explosive since coming over from MLS Next Pro, leading the way for the expansion side, Portland Hearts of Pine. We've been seeing a lot of this throughout the entire season, how these expansion sides, they've essentially found a guy to kind of lead the way on the offense. For Portland, you have Ozzie Wright. For Ollie Wright, you have Carson Hendelong in FC Naples, and Ajmer Spangler doing a lot of the dirty work as well in Texoma. So a lot of these new teams have those offensive centerpieces, Ollie Wright being that in Portland, where he has been the main staple, the same way Ajmer Spangler has for Texoma. As we go through our schedule for match week 27, it kicks off here in Papillion, but we continue on elsewhere in the USL. Chattanooga and Charlotte is a battle between two of the top 5 teams. Tormenta and Mark McKeever will be playing against his first side, One Knox, for the first time ever. Naples maybe trying to hang on to a top 4 slot against Greenville Triumph, trying to battle their way in. And Forward Madison, as we mentioned at the top, they're only 3 points behind Texoma, who currently sit at number 8 officially in the standings, but 3 points for Madison on the road against an AV Ultra side who have been darn near dominant at home. In Spokane, if they can close out business against Westchester, and let's say hypothetically Chattanooga can't get it done against Charlotte, that could potentially force a 3-way tie at the top between Knoxville, Spokane, and Chattanooga. So keep an eye on those 3 games, especially because of where they are at the top of the table, but still keep an eye on Madison and Greenville as well to see who could maybe overtake or at least come in close of that top 8 slot that currently Omaha and Texoma are fighting for. More from the USL and League One on halftime and more in the second half.
So my name is Jamie Henderson, originally from Lincoln, England. I've spent the last 6 years living in Atlanta, working for Atlanta United in the front office there as an international scout. So in 2012 I went to Bellevue University as a student athlete, playing for the soccer team there for 4 years. Post-graduation I started working for Huddle in the headquarters in Lincoln, and from there I went straight into working for Atlanta United in the front office as an international scout. Worked with a lot of clubs worldwide, worked with a lot of agents worldwide, and helped build a team from the ground up almost, starting with them 2 years after their first season. Been involved in a lot of turnover at the club, been involved in a lot of player transactions, but something I really enjoyed. Atlanta United are a huge club with huge ambition, and I got the same feeling with my conversations with Alexis, Marty, and also with Gary. You know, the ambition of everyone at this club aligned with what I believe in. It's a very similar alignment to what Atlanta United had in terms of their ambition to succeed both on and off the field, and I see this here with Union Omaha, and I'm extremely excited to be here and pass on my knowledge, but also learn from everybody around me as well, and really keep pushing to make this club one of the best in the USL. So I think right now we're looking at the table and a little bit disheartened with where we are in the table, but what we need to know is that there is so many games left to play. We've got a lot of games at home for a lot of points to be collected, and you know, I've been assessing the team, looking at the games over the last 6 weeks, and there's been some dominant performances. So if we can turn those dominant performances into points, then by the end of the season we'll be in a really good spot. I think it's important to know that there's going to be good days and there's going to be bad days. You're going to lose games, you're going to win games, and most of all, don't take too much notice of the table. I think we can get caught up in where the standings are, but know that 2 or 3 wins have you in the playoffs, 2-3 losses has you down past the playoff line. So just staying consistent, believing in the project, believing in each other, and I think you'll see the reward of that at the end of the season.
We return here to Werner Park in Papillion, Nebraska, where Union Omaha have the 2-0 lead on Texoma FC, as this game is brought to you by Courtyard by Marriott. And it's been a very eventful 45 minutes, especially with 2 goals on the way, as we take a look at the opening set of 45 between Texoma and Union Omaha. Party got started in the 6th minute after a whipping header by Max Schneider on the corner kick feed by Cello Martinez opened things up in the 6th minute. That would be Martinez's 3rd assist of the season, Schneider's 3rd goal of the season. And in the 10th minute, Omaha have been getting so many opportunities towards goal, and they've really been the more dangerous team through the opening set of 45, with 7 shots and 3 of them being on target. And this was a nice cross attempted by Ryan G, but just could not be completed. However, the opportunities would not stop there, as the 12th minute, an opportunity could come for Sam Owusu on the corner kick on the opposite side. This is when a lot of Omaha has been really successful at it, getting these scrambles inside of the box, trying to clean things up. They've been a team that have been one of the most efficient at getting chances. They just haven't buried, but now they're trying to find their scoring touch, as the Schneider attempt was bobbling around and eventually finds a loose Mark Chronic to just slot that one in top shelf, as you just have that scramble, but the heads-up play by Union Omaha to stay in the right place at the right time to charge in for another goal to keep things at 2-0. And it's pretty much been Omaha's game throughout the entirety of the opening 45. You really see that in the stats with just the amount of opportunities they've had to get balls towards goal, their high danger chances as well. A lot of that comes with control of the ball, and that's something that both coaches really emphasize, that if you give Omaha enough possession with time and space to really operate, they can be one of the most dangerous teams in USL League One, especially with winning the big pieces coming over from a season ago. And even though it's been a very plug-and-play type of a scenario for Omaha, they've been able to make it work through and through. It's one of the reasons why they've been one of the hottest teams in the league, with points in 4 of the last 5. And they're looking to continue adding to that with potentially 4 wins in the last 6 is what Omaha are searching for. Make our way back towards the center circle. Texoma will open the second half with possession. Both Adrian Forbes and Vincenzo Candela, they will hold tight with what they have. They're confident in the 11s that they've put out there in the open. And they both understand that a lot of the differences in not only this game, but also what will work for them towards the end of the season has all got to do with what's between the ears and what's going on in the mental side of things. As for Texoma, they'll have to climb quite a mountain, down 2 goals in the second set of 45. They'll be in the black starting off left to right, while Omaha are in the white, right to left. They begin in this second set of 45. Ryan Lee and our entire ESPN Plus crew coming to you from Papillion, Nebraska, in Werner Park, where the reigning champs look to make their way back into a playoff slot. Going into today, they were 1 point outside, but trying to lead the way is Cello Martinez, trying to find Patello Faz in front. Instead, it trickles right to Javier Garcia. previously playing twice before, Texoma and Omaha, once in the Jägermeister Cup, once in the regular season. The time that these two played back in the regular season on May 17th, that was the first win in Texoma FC franchise history. And that would start off a 7-game unbeaten run where they just continued to find ways to get points. They were 5-0-2 during that stretch where they just continuously found ways to get results. However, they came up short in quite a number of times, and some of those situations that maybe weren't handled to Adrian Forbes' expectation, maybe games that were winnable resulting in ties, or games where they had a chance to tie only and coming up short and not being able to at least secure 1 point at the end of the day has been some of the struggles of the last couple of weeks, where they really were getting those points at will from last year, from that earlier stretch, pardon. In Omaha, it's just been a lot of changing around since the team they had from last year. A lot of new pieces, a lot of the young guys who maybe were in a rotation last year becoming regulars. Brian Padilla to center. Pepe tries to get loose. Pepe can't get free as it jumps to Nuhu. Diego Pepe causing problems inside of the area where he was very efficient with North Texas. On loan with Texoma until the end of the season. Delayed yellow card on Max Schneider. And he has been pretty much everywhere on the stat sheet today. A goal and an assist. Now he can add a yellow card in there as well. Schneider has been on the disciplinary report quite a number of times with 10 yellows. It's split across. Botello Foz, he's one-on-one. Botello Foz! An early birthday gift for Pato Botello Foz. He's got his second, and Omaha have their third. Botello Foz, he is 2 days shy of his 29th birthday. Got in a one-on-one with Javier Garcia. The attempted chase back was unsuccessful by Mason. He just blasted that one through. The last goal he scored was against Texoma in the Jägermeister Cup. And he gets another one against Los Pájaros once again. Only 3 minutes after the break. And 3-0 the lead for Omaha. When talking to Vincenzo Candela about what's really changed, he just talked about trying to make sure that when he got himself integrated in the interim head coach process, just talking about making sure the guys didn't feel uncomfortable with the changes, making sure that they continue to play good football. They've been one of the best teams in terms of getting XG, high danger shots, on target, and really having efficient play. They just weren't getting the results that they wanted to. But now that they finally have that marriage between the quality of play, the quality of opponents, and the overall quality of results, Coach Candela feels like that these guys finally have that confidence, that swagger back that got them all the way to a championship run that allowed them to win the double last time out. And that third goal might be the straw that breaks the camel's back as Teddy Baker comes in for JP Jordan. Also a yellow card against Jordan will go to the bench. For Baker, the 23-year-old midfielder from England, playing in 19 matches across this season in his first pro season. Spending the last 2 seasons with Hofstra. Wutan Full steam ahead, Wooton from range, punched out by Garcia. Follow-up for Ostrom. Cross attempted, overhead, out of play. This hasn't detracted Omaha from really flying around the pitch. They're getting those second opportunities, those third opportunities to just continue to pepper Javier Garcia, already coming off of a 3-0 loss against Madison and already conceding 3 goals in the opening 48 minutes. And the Botello Foz goal, you can give Max Schneider another assist on today's game with 3 total goal contributions. He only had 2 total goal contributions going into today. For Adrian Forbes and Texoma, how do you bounce back from scenarios like this? Vincenzo Candela, after a shaky start to the season, he has found a way to really corral the guys, just trying to make sure that in this final stretch, they show that the end product is there, the will to win and find different ways to get results. Yeah, man down just in front of Texoma's bench. Martinez back on his feet. Got an assist on the opening goal off of the corner. Over 100 matches of experience in the USL Championship, almost exclusively with the RGV Turos between 2019 and 2022. 55 matches across USL League One, split across his 4th League One team. Starting with Tormenta back in 2018. However, they weren't in League One yet. They were in USL League Two at the time. But the last 3 years, 3 different teams for Chelo Martinez. Omaha this year, the Northern Colorado Hellstorm last year before they were dropped out of USL League One, and Ford Madison in 23. This one's curled in, bouncing in the box. Cleared away by Texoma. This is Omaha's ball. A slight delay with a late substitution coming in for Vincenzo Candela. The 34-year-old veteran Brett Coleman is out. The Italian center back, formerly of the Akron Zips, Marco Milanese, will enter in the 55th minute. Milanese, this is his 3rd year with the Owls, and you also see the entry of Joe Gallardo as well. Joe Gallardo, he's been a staple in this lineup, has missed the last 4 games, hasn't played since August 6th, but he's been a mainstay in this roster since coming in 2023. 5 total goals across all competitions. Today is his 84th in USL League One for Gallardo. Long throw in the box, still up for grabs, cleared out by Calfo, shot and off the post, still loose, shot by Gallardo, cleared. That one whipped the woodwork as a golden opportunity for Omaha. The logjam in the box, it was cleared by Calfo, but what a shot from Chelo Martinez. And Gallardo gave that one a second swing. Ostrom, across and out. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Probably no better seat than up against the wall behind goal over in the outfield here at Warner Park. Two substitutions in the 56th minute, Milanese for Coleman and Gallardo for Ryan Giba. Two veterans, two familiar faces. Here with the Owls. Also some veteran experience that can definitely help on the midfield side of things. Joe Gallardo going in and out of the lineup, having dealt with a fractured orbital earlier on the season, but he's back in full health. Schneider pops it up. Ostrom, partial flub. This is Texoma ball. Texoma only one win in the last 8. That was a 1-0 win in Greenville. It opened up this 3-game road trip where they have yet to score since that Greenville game. However, they've conceded 6 consecutive goals, 3 against Madison, and 3 here. Gallardo hesitates. Him and Schneider roll back to Milanese. Stolen back by Texoma. Ajmir Spangler. He's got help. Padilla. Back for Perkins. He curls it in. Just a little too far in front of Spangler. He was waiting on the back post. And Ajmir Spangler has been a focal point of this Texoma side since coming over from South Georgia Tormenta. Had a very nice college career in the state of Florida. 2 years with USF with the Bulls after being a transfer from Stetson University. Another school, but a little more minor in the D1 ranks. Schneider heads it ahead. Ostrom only as far as Perkins. Slips forward, Gallardo sends it across. Trying to find help with Bronick. Knapp bodies off his man, frees up Bronick. Schneider curls it, Gallardo's loose. Waits, up top, Ostrom, header, just missed. Other side, deflected by Garcia, out of play, corner for Omaha, their first of the half. It's the second and third balls for Union Omaha that have really made the difference in this game. You have a man waiting just too high for Knapp, too high for Martinez, but they do get another swing towards Garcia, and this will allow Martinez to serve another Modelo corner. First of the half for either side. Bit of a warning between Calfo and Schneider with our lead official, Carlos Rodriguez, Jared Mosher, Jay Norris, our assistant referees in the blue. Velimir Stefanovic is the fourth official as Martinez awaits. We're at the hour. It's 3-0 the lead for Omaha. They have led by 4 as recently as 3 weeks ago in their 4-1 win against Charlotte. They led the Independents 4-0 before the Jacks would eventually get one back. And this time we finally get going. Martinez, high arc, cleared out by Chavez. Swing for Gallardo will go up and out. Watch out, second ball comes from the Parliament. It's been a lot of those little miscues for Texoma, just not being crisp in their passing, not closing down gaps, not being bothersome in the press. Were some of the notes that Adrian Forbes had when his team is not performing at their standard, but when they have been able to really get the cards right and have really played at their peak. They've been on their P's and Q's about a lot of that stuff, and in the game against Madison, the real disappointing part for Los Pájaros was that they didn't make Madison really earn those 3 points, didn't force it. Trying to force it through on a central swing. Partial flub as it pops up. Schneider releases, but he misses well wide. Texoma recouping to a top 8 slot after being at the bottom back in match week 10. For Union Omaha, it took until match week 21. However, they have not only escaped from the bottom, but also they are firmly ahead with a cushion in the standings as well as in some of the tiebreakers, including goal differential. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XMFC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights, plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XMFC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. So as you saw from that last wide shot, you have Ben Bargiolo and Stefano Pino up on deck. And this is where the substitutions will happen. Pato Patelofaz scored the 3rd goal. He is off to the bench, as is the 2nd goal scorer, Mark Bronick, for Ben Bargiolo and Stefano Pino. For Pino, he has played 8 of his career 312 matches with Union Omaha over a decade pro, about a dozen years to be exact, since 2012. Bouncing around internationally in the US before finding a new home in Union Omaha after spending parts of last season with Birmingham Legion. For Ben Bargiolo, he's only been on the roster for a month. Hasn't played since that 4-1 win against Charlotte, but was a mainstay with Orange County in the USL Championship for the last 2 seasons and a half. Ostrom. Schneider taken down. Ajmir Spangler wants to start the attack for Texoma, but they're interrupted. Taken down by Pepe. And this is where we get a change for Adrian Forbes. Damian Iamarino will be into the game, replacing Diego Pepe. For Iamarino, he's been in the roster since midway through July on the 16th, where he has only been in 2 regular season games if you include today, 4 across all competitions, where he spent part of last season with Chicago House AC in the Midwest Premier League, a semi-pro league here in the U.S. Daytona Beach, Florida native. Bobbling around in the box, Chavez tries to get free. Taken away by Owusu, supported by Wu-Tan. Omaha operate the far side. Barjolo crosses, centered. Martinez lays it back. Schneider! Just too high. But Max Schneider has been blazing from outside of the box. Already a goal and 2 assists, looking to add on to that. As he just let that one loose. Schneider. 105 games in his pro career, including 7 goals and now 16 assists with his 3-goal contribution performance today. This one is deep for Lamine Jaunek. Can he keep it in? He will for now to get around Ostrop. Jaunek bounces off Schneider with Perkins. Up the gut it goes, behind the back of Spangler, it's Owusu. Bouncer was intended for Pino, but Chavez cuts it off, and Garcia assists in the other wing where he waits for help. A chance for Texoma to spring Iamarino forward, but out of reach for him. Gallardo can't get around his former teammate Perkins. As we enter the final 20 minutes in a 3-0 Omaha lead, it was Schneider from Martinez, Bronick from Schneider, and Batelafaz from Schneider. Bronick and Schneider's goals came in the opening 14-minute. Batelafaz added on in the 48th. Spangler's got Mason with him. Mason taken down, ball rolls out. And Mason in some discomfort after all that's said and done. It is going to be a Rashid Nuhu goal kick. However, Mason is struggling. 27 years old. At the center back spot, and we've seen him work up quite a bit. He actually predominantly plays in the left back, but he's one of 3 center backs in this 5-man defensive unit for Adrian Forbes, as you see him going body to body with Sam Owusu. Omaha just trying to ensure that the urgency is greater at this time of the year more than any other, especially with how the playoff picture is kind of unfolded over the last couple of months. They knew that they were going to be in a tight playoff race. Maybe the expectations weren't as lofty to win a double, but at the very least to make the playoffs. It's a team that is built to play playoff soccer. A team that has a lot of depth, a lot of experience, capabilities. And for Coach Candela, it's been a lot about trying to work on those little things, especially with the tutelage he had under Dominic Casciato, bring sustainability to the program. Just trying to put his own identity on this team with a little sprinkle of what was already done. Just trying to give the guys the responsibility and trust to really increase their roles. Here's a chance in front, takedown in the box. Play on. Goal kick the result. Jonah harassed by Ostrom. If the result holds, this was also take Union Omaha out of the red in the goal differential column. They've been in the negative all season long. They've been outside of the playoff picture all season long. This will be the first time all year, assuming Omaha holds up, that Omaha would be above the playoff line, and also the first time they'd be out of the red in the goal differential category, having taken some big losses earlier on in the year. Especially because they knew they had targets on their back from the jump. A lot of road games in the mix as well, as Charlie Ostrom coughs up a foul for a Texoma free kick. Ozzy Ramos has been the setup man, and at this angle, we have a whole log jam of guys at the top of the 18. The left foot for Ozzy Ramos. Headed away by Omaha. Barjolo gets up. Ramos lets it fall out of play. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Jauner operates near side. Trying to weave it through, cannot get it. It's a turnaround try and saved by Nuhu. Ian Marino trying to get some work in at the top of the box, and the turnaround try with him and Teddy Baker both jamming up the lanes. Neither of them could get through, so we have Patrick Stashevsky and Reed Valentine ready to go, but first off and foremost, Rashid Nuhu, he still has it. A couple defensive changes for Adrian Forbes, and here they come with Patrick Stashevsky and Reed Valentine on the entry. For Stashevsky, he hasn't played since that last match versus Omaha in the Jägermeister Cup. This is only his 5th appearance in the regular season, 8 across all competitions. For Stashevsky, he will replace David Mason as part of the defensive group. Reed Valentine slots in as well, the 19-year-old from Dallas, in his first year as a pro for Reed Valentine. Final 15 minutes of regulation for Adrian Forbes. Maybe just trying to see what these guys can do to maybe provide some sort of spark. As Wutan goes from deep, Schneider on the recovery. He wins it back, but illegally because of the whistle. Jordan Chavez, David Mason, the ones who were replaced in the last substitution. But it's stolen away by Omaha. Pino gets loose for Gallardo. Wutan comes to help. And we'll treat it back with Schneider and Owusu occupying the defensive midfield and the center back. But Owusu makes a move to free room. Wutan, just shy of Pino, back, Gallardo waits. He shoots, and it's right to Garcia. Miscommunication, that's stripped. Poked forward for Pino. He's got Gallardo. Wide open is Joe Gallardo as he makes the entry. Gallardo saved by Garcia. Cleared away by Texoma, still alive. Schneider. He'll play it back with Milanese and Owusu back. Utan and Knapp on the far side with Schneider. As Milanese and Owusu will continue to eat away at the final 14 minutes. Omaha, as of now, are in the 8th place slot. Knapp sends it, Barjolo to cross. Too high for Gallardo. Support comes for Ostrom. This will come out of play. Is this a corner or a goal kick? They will send it to the corner. Last off of Texoma. Another Modelo corner kick for the Owls. $17 total shots attempt, including 10 in this half. Martinez to serve, headed up. And this will just go for another corner to Omaha, brought to you by Modelo. Ten of 17 total shots have come in the second half. 4 of the 7 shots on target for Omaha have come since break. Still holding strong with about 60% of possession to this point. They really control the game, Omaha, and Martinez might add on. High arc, headed. And out for a goal kick. Or a corner. The assistant referee and the head official were not on the same page. They retract the goal kick. Now it's a corner again. Another Modelo corner 3 times in a row. Of the 4 in the half, 3 have come in the last 2 minutes. Chelo Martinez ready to arc this one in. Martinez headed and saved by Garcia. Stefano Pino got some clip on that, but not enough to cross the line. Spangler up the gut, he waits, he fires. That might have clipped the defender before fluttering wide. They say it did not. Brian Padilla and Ajmer Spangler in that mix. The USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports, Colazo Network, and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Vincenzo Candela happy to have 2 starting caliber goaltenders in between the pipes for his unit. Cole Jensen was a regular starter with Inter Miami 2 Vamos Next Pro last year. He was able to get 1 goal allowed across 2 starts between the Charlotte and Avialta games last time out. Rashid Nuhu is top 10 in all-time USL League One appearances, where he has been a staple for Los Bujos since coming over 6 years ago in 2020. While Nuhu has not been on the plus side of the win-loss record, he has been able to keep things tight for Los Bujos. As you have a takedown from Barjolo, and Perkins were tangled up on the far side. As of now, Union Omaha sit in 8th with a 2-point cushion on Texoma, who are the first team out at 25 points. Rainbowed in, headed away. Schneider finishes the dump out. These are two teams kind of on opposite sides of the momentum spectrum as it's a potential build-up. Baker gets around, but knew who was first. Delayed card at the very end of that as well. Looks like Milanese was the guilty party, but we'll get the official ruling momentarily. As Baker was coming in, and just a little bit of incidental contact after Baker released the ball, it looks like. So the yellow card comes from Milanese. Under 10 minutes to go. All yellow cards brought to you by Alamo Drafthouse Cinemas. And this will give Texoma another free kick just outside the box. You got Brian Padilla and Ajmer Spangler. 19 yards from the end line. Spangler and Padilla. It is Spangler towards goal and held off by Nuhu. It is a nice take by Ajmer Spangler, but the experience of the 29-year-old Ghanaian goalkeeper, Rashid Nuhu, or as he's referred to in the locker room as Shido, has been steady, despite maybe not the best win-loss record this year, but he has come up big. Martinez lays it off. Barjolo! Barjolo with his first for Omaha, and they've got 4. What a rocket from Ben Barjolo, and a beautiful setup by Pino to keep it in play and Martinez to set it up. Pino pops it in the air and Martinez just tosses it to an open area in Barjolo. So much speed at only 18 years of age with some USL Championship experience. Only played a total of 63 minutes with Omaha across his 2 appearances in league play. Gets his first goal in an Omaha kit. And they continue to pack it on for Union Omaha. That is 6 consecutive goals scored by Union Omaha while holding opponents to none since the end of the Charlotte game. And after all that is said and done, Max Schneider, all of his efforts have helped them get to 3-0 with a goal and 2 assists for Schneider. He'll be on the bench for Sergio Ores Navarro, first-year pro, formerly of the West Virginia Mountaineers, where he was an All-American last year, and a Sun Belt Offensive Player of the Year for Ores Navarro. Schneider putting up what is at least in consideration for a man-of-the-match performance, as a quick stumble can't be completed by Perkins, still in a jam. Spangler comes in, but it's kicked out by Omaha. So for Union Omaha, if you include this game in the 2-0 shutout against AV Alta, they've scored 6 goals in just over 2 hours, 147 minutes to score 6 goals between this game and in the last. But another tries. This one essentially clipped in! Pino puts one in, and Omaha have 5. Make that 7 straight goals scored for Union Omaha across the last 2 games. This is just a beaut. Might have been clipped by Ors Navarro, but it's good to see some of the new guys get it done. Barjolo on the board. Pino's on the board, but Telefaz was on the board earlier. A lot of some of the new guys coming in from the offseason and the midseason, making their presence felt. And this is what the Candela effect can do. They were really elevating offensively since they were at the bottom of the table. When Omaha were at the bottom of the table back in match week 21, they were only averaging 1.2 goals a game. They've averaged well over 2 goals a game since. And they'll have been unbeaten in 5 of the last 6, are Union Omaha, and in prime position to be in the number 8 slot, especially when you have some of the tiebreakers, including goal differential being a potential tiebreaker. Games like this, we can just pack it on, they matter. And for Texoma, unfortunately for them, they've conceded last 8 straight goals. Sent in from the center stripe. Bobbling, cleared by Ostrom. For 5 goals, we haven't seen any of the leading man in the Golden Playmaker race, Charlie Ostrom, getting assists yet, but he's been helping out. He is starting out breakout passes. He's maybe not getting the final pass, but he has been at least starting the attack by his many clearances and interruptions in the midfield. This will trickle all the way back towards Rashid Nuhu, who did not play in the last 2 matches. You have to go to the beginning of August, on the 6th, the 2-1 win against Westchester, the last time that we've seen a W with Rashid Nuhu between the pipes. Last time out, it was a 1-0 loss in Knoxville, back on August 16th for Rashid Nuhu. That's 2 goals in the last 3 minutes for Union Omaha, for a Texoma side that has really struggled to close games out. 11 goals conceded in the final 15 minutes of the second half, more than any other team across the league. Closing those games out has been a struggle for Adrian Forbes' side, just trying to make sure that they're on the peak of their performance has been a struggle as well. They've had opportunities to get it towards goal. They've gotten opportunities, just not able to bury. Ors Navarro wiggles around a defender, but it's held on by Garcia. Three extra minutes are on the board in a 5-0 game. And just part of the downfall of Texoma so far has just been they're not helping themselves, they're not converting their opportunities, they haven't been consistent enough. They've just been in a rut, and they've just been trying to do everything they can to get out of it. It's just that sometimes they just haven't been able to really close the fine margins for those Pájaros. And if they want, at the very least, try to get back into the top 8, they're already 2 points down on Union Omaha. Now you have a goal differential issue as well, where they were already having the 2nd lowest in the entire league at this point. Their 5-goal defeat in today's game would put them at the bottom of the league in the goal differential total. They had the lowest by far of anyone above the playoff line. Before Texoma, they've just been snake bitten. No goals in 262 minutes. That is 8 minutes shy of 3 full matches. An early 8th minute goal against Greenville Triumph from Ajmer Spangler is the only goal they've scored in the last 3. And for Union Omaha, they've really locked things down defensively over 2 full games without conceding a goal, 195 minutes for Los Bujos, and that might even add on more with the team that's currently at the bottom of the table in Westchester. They'll be coming off of a road trip in Spokane. And a team in Westchester that have also had their struggles closing games out. And then they get 2 of the best back here at home for Omaha, hosting Spokane and hosting Knoxville before going to Chattanooga to attempt to keep the playoff hopes alive. For Texoma, another couple challenges for them. However, they go back to Sherman where they play the aforementioned Spokane Velocity. Both the opponents against each other in that CBSSN game tomorrow. Spokane goes to Sherman to play Texoma. Omaha will go to Westchester. And for Texoma, they also have a whole bunch of their ending games on the road. 4 of the last 7, with travels to Westchester, to Portland Hearts of Pine, in Knoxville, and in Tormenta to end the season. And their home games are no gimmies either. AV Alta in the playoff slot, and Spokane, who are fighting for the #1 seed. We're past 3 minutes, and this is likely going to end in the 5-0 win for Union Omaha. For the first time all season, Union Omaha are in the playoff picture. The 3 points puts them at 8th. Texoma are the first team out. And continuing the strong start in the Vincenzo Candela era with wins in 4 of the last 6. A lot of it coming off the back of the Max Schneider goal, the header smashed in, presented by Platinum Chiropractic. Opened the scoring in the 6th minute. Your game-winning goal from the 25-year-old German midfielder coming out of Marshall. And that individual performance, 1 goal, 2 assists, started an avalanche for Omaha. As this game is brought to you by the Blackstone District. More from Papillion, more from the reigning champs, taking out the newcomers in the Battle of the Birds on the other end of this break. Stick with us.
Life is filled with moments, some monumental, some mere seconds. Moments we often take for granted as we worry and anticipate all the moments to come. At Woodman Life, we help ease that worry with our affordable life insurance and retirement products. We work to protect financial security, community pride, patriotism, and peace of mind so that you can protect the moments that matter most.
Returning to Warner Park, where the reigning champs are in the playoff picture for the first time all year after a 5-0 onslaught against Texoma FC. We take a look back at how we got to this point in regulation, and it all started off in the 6th minute. Max Schneider coming off of the header with a beautiful service by Chelo Martinez to open up the scoring 1-0 in the 6th minute. For Schneider, that'd be his 3rd goal of the season and the 1st for Union Omaha. And only 8 minutes later, and we continue, and this is just a heads-up play by Omaha. They have the man down in the box, Wu-Tan, the follow-up by Schneider to find Bronick wide open on the wing to slot it through, and it's really this collective teamwork by Union Omaha that has really helped them propel to get back into a playoff position, just to show that the standard is high and it will stay just as high. And we also have another breakout pass from Schneider, which he sets up Pato Patello-Faz in the 48th minute. Patello-Faz, that would be his 2nd goal of the season, his 9th in USL League One for the Mexican striker. And just before the end of regulation, a bobble in the air, just trying to get it into an open space so Ben Barjolo can smash it through with speed on the assist from Chelo Martinez. Nice pull-up to get on the wall as well. And right before the end of regulation, you have 5 different goal scorers in the party. Pato Patello-Faz getting the help as well, and coming off the bench with the assist, Sergio Ors Navarro getting on the board. As we take a look at our Pepsi full-time stats, it really was a game for Union Omaha to really flex their muscles, showing that they are still the reigning champs. Even though they weren't in 9th place, outside by a singular point, you can't count them out. They are the champs for a reason. They're here for a title defense. They've been marred by a lot of injuries, but that hasn't stopped them from doing what they do best. Fast, flying on offense, stingy on defense, reduce your opportunities, maximizing their own in front of a home crowd that has helped provide some juice as well for the Owls, where they might take flight further than the top 8. It's been a busy game in the Battle of the Birds for a fight for a playoff slot, as Union Omaha take a commanding 5-0 win and a full and probably the most important 3 points of their season, as they are in the top 8 for the first time all season. For our entire ESPN Plus crew, my name's Ryan Lee. Thanks for joining us. Have a great rest of your night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.